What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading every week about some nutrition or health related video or whatever you guys want to see. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out a ton for my channel. Today I will be going over how to eat more but to lose fat. I'm sure if you have been on a weight loss journey or a fitness journey that you have heard about macronutrients, or you might have seen the Iifym if it fits your macros. However, you might not know exactly what it is. So in this video today, I'm going to tell you what macronutrients are, how it works to eat more but to still lose fat, and how to calculate your macronutrients. Let's go ahead and get started with this video. Why I say that you can eat more and lose fat is because when I first started macronutrients a few years ago, I'm not doing it currently, but I'm getting ready to start, I found myself having to eat a lot more. You prepare a lot of food to hit all those targets. I didn't exactly get every single down to the last gram hit it on target like that. I wasn't that disciplined. This time around, that's how I want to be, and that's why I'm going to get a food scale. If you want to purchase the exact food scale that I'm going to get, I'll link it down below. I think having a food scale is going to help hit my targets exactly where I want to be, how many grams that I need once I figure out the exact macros that I need. What are macronutrients? Well, first, let's start with what nutrients are. Nutrients are environmental substances that are used for energy, growth, and bodily functions by organisms. Depending on the nutrient, these are needed in either smaller amounts or larger amounts. Those that are needed in larger amounts are the macronutrients, because micro is small, macro is big. There are 3 macronutrients that are needed by the human body, and those are your carbs or sugars, lipids or fats, and proteins. Each of these macronutrients provide energy in the form of calories. For instance, carbohydrates, there are 4 calories per gram. In protein, there are also 4 calories per gram. And in lipids, or your fats, there are 9 calories per gram. This means that if you look at the back of a label and you see that there are 10 grams of carbohydrates, you multiply that by 4 because each gram is worth 4 calories, and that will give you your 40 calories. The first macronutrient we're going to talk about are carbs. We all love carbs. Bread, pasta, chips, chocolate, anything sugar and bad for you that can make you gain weight. I'm not gonna say bad for you because carbs aren't bad, we just misuse them. Humans need carbohydrates in the largest amount. The USDA actually recommends that the caloric intake of an adult be 45 to 65% in carbohydrates. However, in my opinion, I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that. I believe that it's just for maintaining weight. If you're trying to lose weight, I don't think it would have the same percentage rate that they're referring to. But with any diet, you never really want to completely cut out carbohydrates anyway. You do need them for your bodily functions. Carbohydrates are the easiest macronutrient that is metabolized by the body. That means that it is the one macronutrient that is going to pull the fuel for your body first out of all of them. So it's a great energy source. All of our body tissues have the ability to actually use carbs or sugars as glucose and use it for energy. While the body is using those carbohydrates for energy, it's allowing the other macronutrients to do their jobs, like growth and tissue repair. When you are trying to build muscle, it's very important that you have enough energy sources outside of protein so your body isn't using those proteins for energy because you're trying to build the proteins, not take away from it. That is a big thing about losing weight. You want to lose fat. You don't want to lose muscle mass. That is why it's important that you still need to be getting your carbs. Another important function that carbs aid in are the functions of your brain, kidneys, heart, and muscles. So it's really important to keep carbs in your diet, although you don't want to be overeating in carbs. Carbs also aid in the synthesis of amino acids, which I will be discussing about amino acids a little bit later in the video. Fats can only be metabolized when carbs are present in the body.
I will also be talking about fats metabolizing in your body a little bit later on in the video.
There are two types of carb. Your simple carbs, which are the more sweet carbs. Those come from your fruits and things of that nature, things that are tasting sweet. And then you have your complex carbs, which are the savory carbs, the starchy foods, best kinds in my opinion. I love savory foods over sweets any day. Fiber, if you don't know already, is such an important part of losing weight because it eliminates waste. Your body can't break down fiber, it just passes through whole and it takes other waste with it, which is really so important when losing weight. You want to get as much junk out of your body as possible. The second macronutrient we're going to discuss is proteins. The USDA recommends 10 to 35% of your caloric intake be proteins. Protein is so important because it's a major component of a lot of cells. The body is made up of thousands of proteins, and proteins are used to produce new tissues, used for growth, and to repair tissues, which is why it's so important when you're trying to build muscle to get all the proteins that your body needs. Proteins may be used as a source of energy when carbohydrates are not present. Protein is found in poultry, meat, fish, legumes.
Is that right? I think that's right, legumes.
The body breaks down proteins into its building blocks, and those are called amino acids. There are 500 known amino acids, 21 of which are needed to survive. 9 are considered essential since they can't be produced by the human body. Since they can't be produced by the human body, that means that we have to intake them through our diet. Proteins that contain all 9 essential amino acids are considered high quality proteins, and those typically come from animal sources. Proteins that do not contain all the essential amino acids are considered low quality proteins and are typically found from plant-based proteins. Last but not least, we are going to talk about lipids for a little bit. Lipids are also known as fats, and these do not dissolve in water. So remember earlier when I said that carbohydrates are also necessary to metabolize these fats. So if you don't have carbs and you're intaking fat,
it won't be able to break down because there aren't carbs to do that for the fats.
The USDA recommends 20 to 35% of your caloric intake be from fats. When I'm trying to lose weight, I typically up my fats. They make me feel more full, and I love being able just to grab some nuts or seeds or something high in fat, good fat, unsaturated fat. It really helps with not eating chips or snacking on bad foods that I don't need. They are a little bit more pricey, but it's definitely worth it. Cellular membranes are produced from lipids or your fats. Fats are also important because cellular membranes are made of them. So if you're not getting enough fats, you're not protecting your cells. Fats help us absorb your vitamins. If you don't have enough fat, then your vitamins aren't getting absorbed properly. Like carbs, with the simple and complex carbs, there's also different types of fats. There's your non-saturated fats or unsaturated fats, saturated fats, trans fat. Saturated and trans fat you want to stay away from. It'll be hard to totally avoid them. Just try to not eat them consciously when you have a choice. Unsaturated fats are your good fat. Olive oil, nuts, avocados. Now that you know what macronutrients are, you need to know how to calculate how many you need. First, you need to find your calorie requirements. And don't worry, this isn't a calorie counting. It's kind of along the same lines, but I feel like it's a little bit easier. How you find the number of calories is based on age, weight, gender, muscle mass, and activity level. There are tons and tons and tons of calculators out there, but you have to be careful because they don't know everything about you, and you might have a misconception about your lifestyle. You just have to be careful, be as honest as you can with them. These are really, really rough estimates. It's not going to be the law when you are finding your calorie. It's just going to be a rough estimate. After you find how many calories you should be intaking for whatever goal it is you have, your goal could be to gain weight, your goal could be to lose weight, your goal could be to maintain weight. It just depends on your goal. Anyway, you need to divvy up your macros. So that means figure out if you want 40% of carbs, 40% of proteins, and then 20% of fats. That is a really popular way to do them. Another popular way is split them all even. Another way is just to find how many grams of protein you need to be eating. You want to have 0.8 grams of protein per body pound. So that's almost 1 gram per pound, which is a ton of protein. Well, you just need to find out whatever your protein intake needs to be and split the fats and the carbs however you want. If you find that your macros aren't working, as I said before, the tools that you can use are just rough estimates. They aren't getting your exact body composition or anything like that, so you really need to listen to your body. If you think that you might need more fats, then you do that. If you think you might need less carbs, then do that. More protein, do that. If you aren't losing weight, then tweak it a little bit. Maybe do 5% less of everything or 10% less. Do what's best for your body and your goals. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Every week I'm going to try to post a video, nutrition, health, or fitness related. If you have ever tried macros and had success or want to know more, just comment below what worked for you. I'd love to know. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.